And so, 43 years on, Aston Villa win it to Kuip again. 2-0 victory over Feyenoord tonight. Yeah, fantastic evening out here in Rotterdam. Really enjoyed my trip. I hope you enjoyed our coverage. Emi Buendia scoring just after the 60th minute. To put Villa ahead tonight, and then John McGinn making it 2-0. Yeah, it's been a very productive day for Villa. They've now made it 2 wins from 2 in the Europa League. They've scored 2 goals tonight, kept another clean sheet, and we'll get into some details in this walk and talk. But just as a general overview, a fantastic result. I was looking before the match at where the likes of Lazio and Athletic Club finished in the Europa League last season. Those first and second positions as well, you know, how many wins did they get? 6 wins for first and second last season. Villa have got 2, and they will be playing at home BSC Young Boys and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv may or may not be played still, we'll see. And then it's Salzburg for the final match. That match is being played, I think it's only a week after the Villa away against Fenerbahce. That looks the harder of the more tricky fixture out of their remaining 3 away matches, which are against the Go Ahead Eagles, which is next up for Villa, back here in the Netherlands, a team who obviously aren't as good as Feyenoord. And Villa will also go to FC Basel, another Swiss team that they'll be playing in this campaign. So I think Villa are now in a fantastic position to finish in. Can't really get carried away too much, but if Villa don't finish in the top 8 from here, I think that'll be a major disappointment because of the calibre of teams that they're playing. You still have to respect those teams, right? Of course you do. But Villa have, by beating Bologna and Feyenoord, for me, definitely 2 of the 3 harder opponents, I think. They have to play. They've put out a message to the rest of the competition that, you know, despite struggling in the league a little bit so far this season and having a slow start, they've conceded a goal in 2 games, and they've won, beating those 2 teams who would like to think themselves that they'd be up there come the end of the league phase. So just from the outset, a really strong result. I think a point would have been absolutely fine tonight, again considering where Villa can pick up points afterwards, but they've given themselves a really good start in this competition, and as I keep saying in different videos, finishing first and second is massively advantageous for that knockout stage, where you will get your second legs at home. From the round of 16 all the way to the semis, that's a massive advantage for a team like Villa, especially who have that Villa Park crowd behind them, and we know the record that Villa have got. It's a really strong one, of course. So on to tonight. After all of that, the first half wasn't very good, to be perfectly honest with you. Marco Bizot came in for Emi Martins. Emi Martins had a calf issue in the warm-up. Bizot comes in at late notice and was superb. He was one of 3 candidates for me to be man of the match, and it was him, Ezri Konsa and Boubacar Kamara. There were, of course, you know, strong performances from McGinn, who scored, Buendia, who scored. You could go across to Pau Torres again for me. Excellent today. There's other members of the team who stood up and were counted for, especially in the second half. But just quickly on the first half, Villa, I mean, this is the kind of, you know, the fine margins in football, right? If Villa were to have conceded that first goal, then the outlook of this game may change completely. And this is kind of the swings that can happen. Villa have rightly picked up few points so far this season in the league, despite playing opposition who you'd expect them to, you know, or at least they can beat and finish above from the end of the season. But now they've won 3 games in a row, and you're taking on Burnley to make it 4. That's certainly not something that Villa fans would be expecting before we played Bologna, even before Fulham. And for that reason, you know, you kind of take the results of this stage of the campaign still with a bit of a pinch of salt. But but there's no getting away from the fact that Villa still haven't, for me, put in a 90-minute performance. And I'm going to kind of park the negatives there if I can. We'll talk about Morgan Rogers, so maybe a bit more. But yeah, the first half, Bizot, Villa needed him, and he stood up. He was excellent and kept another clean sheet. Is that his third? Newcastle, Bologna, and then tonight. So 3 clean sheets in 5 starts, I'm fairly confident in saying. After the match, he just spoke about how it's okay, like it's his job to come in for Martinez and perform when called on. And yeah, again, at short notice, very short notice today. Yeah, it's superb. And Villa, they did face lots of shots, and I think it's worth saying as well that performance in the first half, that needs to improve. In the second half, Emery didn't make any changes, kept the same team, and slowly but surely, after about 10 minutes or so, Feyenoord's controlling the game slowly wore away, and Villa, you could tell, were starting to dominate. But then for me, I was still looking at the front three behind Watkins, Gesson, Rogers and Buendia, and up until, well, when Buendia scored, very little to shout about Gesson. Very hard working, but limited in the final third because he wasn't receiving too much of the ball, and when he did get it, you know, you can't expect the world from him straight away after only joining, obviously not long ago. Morgan Rogers, we'll quickly talk about him. It's nothing really new, which is probably the saddest part of it, really, that the ball seems to bounce off him too many times now, and he's losing the ball too easily. Definitely saw some bright sparks from him against Fulham, and even today there were moments where he would turn away from his man and show that kind of that athletic side that he has and technical ability to dribble past his opponents with ease. But then his final ball, offloading the ball, it's becoming such a concern now, because it's such a regular occurrence, and it's a real frustration for him. There was a moment where I saw him kind of banging his head at one point, so frustrated about giving the ball away cheaply. But he's going to continue to play in this team because Emery knows that he performs a function that's so important, and he has to improve that final ball because Villa need it. And I was saying, how many goals can we rely on Buendia to score? How many goals can we rely on Marlon to score, Gesson to score, Sancho to score? Rogers has to have a big chunk there. Buendia, though, of course, did get his goal, and that's now in successive matches. So if he can continue to chip in like he is, then fantastic. A player who, of course, nearly left the club over the summer and has battled back from a terrible injury. So hopefully we're seeing what we thought we would be getting in that season where he unfortunately had that terrible injury, because in that pre-season campaign back in the summer series when I was out there, he was superb, really good. So we know what we have in Buendia. We can't expect the world from him, like I said, with Gesson, even though he's been at the club for some time now. But if he is going to chip in and be that creative force that we know he can be, then that's fantastic. We need players when Rogers isn't playing well to step up and perform to the level that Emery needs ultimately from this group of players. And he took his goal really nicely. Kamara laying the ball off to him and then curling it into the far corner. Buendia, really nice finish, lovely goal really. So that was the boost that Villa needed, and after that there was really very little threat from Feyenoord, and you credit Villa for that, by the way. They controlled the game really well after going one ahead, and McGinn scoring the second. Donny Marlon came off the bench and was kind of charging towards the box, and what I liked about it is that sometimes the pass can be the easy option. Doesn't necessarily mean that a player is in a better position to score though, and Marlon didn't choose to pass. Instead he kept going for it, which I liked. I liked that he's confident and he's eager to kind of make his mark on the team when he has the opportunity to do so. The ball then fell to McGinn. McGinn takes it nicely, and that's now, I was about to say, successive. It's 3 games in a row that McGinn has scored now, of course. That's got to be the first time he's done that for Villa. I'm not going to think about it too much right now because it's been, firstly it's gone 1 a.m. and McGinn's been here for so many years that I'm not going to think back. Is it? I think it's got to be. Anyway, took his goal nicely, and how fitting as well. Your club captain scoring it to keep the Kuip. Pronunciation of that, sorry if I've butchered it 10 times while being out here. But of course the stadium where Villa won the 1982 European Cup. Your captain scores, seals a win really. in front of the away fans who were up to my left and to the angle just behind the goal. Great noise from them all night, and earlier you would have seen the videos on my page or on different places. Villa fans out in their numbers. Fantastic afternoon it was, speaking to so many different people who have watched the podcast, follow the stuff we do. I always say this is a favourite part of my job, meeting everyone, and yeah, thanks for everyone's support who I did see out there, and if anyone was a bit shy, then always do come up to me. I love talking to fellow Villa fans, and we had a nice sing-song as well. So back to the game. The game was wrapped up for me, when McGinn scored that second goal, and we've spoken about already how Villa are now in a really nice position in that Europa League. If they can get the wins that you expect them to and chip away with the points now, they'll be in that top 8 for certain. And again, give yourselves a great chance to get in that top 2. It's so important for me to try and do that, especially with the matches that are ahead. So you look at other teams like Forest, for example, really struggling in the table. 1 point, is it, for them, having drawn away in the first match week against Betis. Quickly going to pan around to give you some views of Rotterdam. A couple of buildings in the distance, not too much. It's actually really high up here, and I'm not a fan of heights, so I'm not going to look down. Okay, so Burnley on Sunday for Villa. Emery will talk to a section of the media tomorrow at Bodymore Heath. I'm sure he'll probably be asked to be given provide a team news update. But who have we got out at the moment? Tielemans, Onana, Garcia, Barkley obviously couldn't play in the European game, but will also be dealing with a personal issue. Sancho was ill, so didn't play today. Did I mention Mings? Mings is also out. There's 5 or 6 players there, and Villa's squad, I think, on the bench today. You're looking at it, and it's fantastic to see Brad Burrows and Ben Baroggio on the bench, but at the same time, not too many options to kind of count on. And of course, it was 2 players who started the match who got those goals. Quickly going to run through some of the players in the team. So again, Bizot, superb. I think Cash come up against a very good player, very tricky winger. I like him. I forget his name. It's a funny name. Was it Sauer? I think it was Sauer or Sewer. Sewer would be worse, but he certainly wasn't. He was good. He gave Cash a good game, I thought, and especially the first half at Cash, who I do believe has been one of Villa's better players this season. He was never going to be kind of overawed by that challenge, and actually faced it quite well. And certainly in the second half, again, Villa locked down their attack. Konsa, outstanding for me, made a really important block to stop Semstein, who seemed to have had lots of different opportunities to score, but blocks. Villa getting bodies in the way. Good job. Pau Torres, again, mentioning this in quite a few videos now, he is looking, dare I say it, like the player who joined Villa. Where are we now? 2 summers ago, 3 summers ago? I've lost track of my thinking there. Summer 2023, when he joined the club, and obviously played a key role in 23-24 last season. Still, played his part absolutely, but I think it's hard sometimes to forget what Torres gives a team when he's out of it, because when he's playing so much, it's easy to forget, my bad, progressively what he brings to the team. Tielemans as well, when he's not playing, punching the ball into the midfield third or even the final third, you do miss that. And for all of Mings' defensive qualities, if Villa are going to stand up to the challenge of what an opposition attack gives you, well, then Torres' ball playing ability is obviously something that you want that you want in your team. At left back Ian Maatsen, I'm liking Maatsen at the moment. I do think the threat he provides down the wing is really important for Villa and how they attack, because there's not a lot of pace for me otherwise in the team in general. Kamara, excellent. McGinn, got his goal and played very well. Mara 2, Gesson's spoken about him, Roger 2, and that leaves Emi Buendia, who we've touched on, and Ollie Watkins, who had a bit of a quiet night, I guess you'd say. I think he made some good runs off the ball, either just slightly offside, and one of them Emery said he wasn't offside for, the one where I think he takes around the keeper and then's blocked off the line. Hold-up play really is all you can judge Watkins on. Not all you can judge Watkins on, but mainly his game today was holding the ball up and trying to bring players into the match, and kind of very successful with that. But he'll be scoring goals this season just like he has in the last few campaigns. No worries about him at all. I will quickly touch on what Robin van Persie said after the match, because he spoke about the incident where, and I'm not totally sure what happened here because my monitor, we didn't have a monitor next to us, and obviously we don't get the replays, we won't watch it on TV. But of course there was a moment where their striker heads the ball, looked like it was going in the corner, and from where I saw, I didn't know if it went over the line. So if it did, okay, maybe you can kind of bring up an argument here, but even then, the referee blew up for a foul. I think it was that Cash was blocked off by Juan Tabe, I think his name was. So there was a foul given there, and I don't know, firstly, if it was a goal, secondly, if it was a foul, but that's what happened. Van Persie then claimed that the referee apologised to him at half-time. That's something that Villa are disputing. Ever even happened. And then Emery after the game was asked about it, but he basically said, I don't want to talk about referees. It was the last question he answered there. And then also Van Persie essentially alluded that Villa got lucky in the match, and Emery did chuckle a little bit and said, I don't really talk about lucky or unlucky. We do the work, and sometimes you have to suffer in a match, but then you come out of it the other side. And I don't know, I think that's probably some inexperience on Van Persie's side. I think Emery, the chuckle probably partially came out because it's you should learn, Van Persie anyway, that in management this will happen. He's obviously a very experienced football player and a top one at that, but at management level I think you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and Villa have done that this season. They haven't played particularly well for any large part of a game, but we always say this about when you come away from home, you have to absorb pressure, you have to take suffering. When I'm packed in the kind of the home end, where the press box is in these away games, it's constant noise, unless you go to some stadiums in England, but especially European games, it's on top of you, it's difficult, and it almost feels like the game is being played at a million miles an hour, and you're under pressure. But if you can get out of it with a win, that's all that matters, genuinely. So tonight, no, the performance wasn't incredible. Doesn't have to be if you're going to win 2-0. Again, I like that Villa have taken a bit of suffering there and come out of it okay. And a lot of that is due to Marco Bizzett, of course. So Sunderland, that'll be a very different match. On Sunday, then it's the break, and although Villa have obviously got a few wins under their belt, and hopefully it's going to be 4 out of 4, the second league win on Sunday. I don't mind having the break right now, because then Villa do have 3 very tough games. Afterwards it's Spurs away, it's City at home and Liverpool away. Go ahead Eagles in there as well. For those league matches are going to be very difficult, and for that reason I'm happy for Emery to work on a few different plans for those games, and we'll see how Villa go after the break. But for now, all eyes have to be on Burnley, because again, can't escape it, Villa have only won 1 of their league games so far, and that game will not be a pushover. They'll have to play well Villa to get the win, and that's hopefully what they will do after returning from Rotterdam. It's been a fantastic trip, and look forward to where Villa's European campaign goes, hopefully all the way to Istanbul.